This is Scratch Your Own Itch, the one show that delivers the conversations that we're afraid to share, but need to. This show is all about creating a life worth living. I'm Logan Tyler Nelson, and I'm your host. So, you're going to hear conversations with creators and entrepreneurs talk about what they do, their current and past traumas, how they became who they are, and what they are truly curious about. This is the show where we talk about the things we think about a lot, but need to talk about more. Please take note that this show is not a substitute for actually creating a life worth living, because this show will stir your beliefs, make you question what it means to create a life worth living. So my promise to you is to always give you one question to answer for yourself today to start turning your dreams into a reality. Hello, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Scratch Your Own Itch podcast. I really appreciate it because I know you can be listening to so many things right now. You can be listening to all this gorgeous music that's been produced by so many artists, or you could be watching a Netflix show. There's so much content out there, but you came here to listen to this, and it means the world to me. And I want you to know that, hey, you're the authority of your life, and you are coming here for a reason. So without further ado, I really want you to just pay attention to this interview, and really go like, wow, I'm gonna not just hit next and use this as a self-entertainment sort of like self-help jargon, but really use it for your life, because I have a great guest on. Her name is Kathleen Miner, and she's an entrepreneur, a homeschool mom, a wife, mother of 4, and I cannot believe this. She's a grandmother. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, right? Like she doesn't even look like one. But right. She is the founder of Manifesting Magic in Your Everyday Life, and she's the author of a 30-day Self Perception Makeover. So without further ado, give a huge warm welcome to the one and only Kathleen Miner.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm well. So Ruthie connected us.
Yeah.
So I'm super happy about this, because honestly, I didn't even think this was going to happen today, but I'm so happy about like the idea of just not planning for perfection, but just going with it. So.
Right? That's what life is all about anyway.
Right?
Just taking what you have and making the best of it, because those are always the best ones.
Agreed. So, Kathleen, I really want to learn more a little bit about you and talk a little bit less. And just ask you, what's a little short story from your life that had sort of an underlining message behind it?
Okay, so I'll just tell you how the self-perception came up, right? Why do I talk about self-perception, and why did I decide to write books on self-perception? And it all started for me, the thing that stands out most in my life was when I was younger. I was pregnant at a very young age, hence that's why I'm a young grandmother. Pregnant at a very young age, and I was then divorced, and so I was a divorced mother of 2, so single mom of 2, working a full-time job and also 2 part-time jobs, and I was just barely making ends meet. We hear those stories, it's true, and those of us that are going to we'll do anything for our kids, and we're just going to keep making it work. And I was just starting to realize that things in my life, some of them were going okay, great, and okay. My kids were healthy. I was very grateful for that. I had a place to live. And so those things that I was grateful for, they were still in my life. And there were some things in my life that I was did not really feel that great about. And those were the things, though, that I was focusing on that obviously just weren't that great. So, you hear the saying, people say all the time, what you focus on grows. It's absolutely true. And I started to realize as well that I was putting myself down. I wasn't, giving myself the same compliments that I was giving everybody else. And one of my second jobs was that I became a personal trainer. And I did that because I wanted to belong to a gym. Fitness is a huge part of my life. It makes me feel amazing, and I love to take care of myself. And I wanted to teach other people, but I also wanted a free gym membership because, if you work there, you get a free gym membership. I was like, this is awesome because, I was lucky to have $5 at the end of every paycheck by the time you pay daycare and health insurance, et cetera, the whole deal. So anyway, I was working on myself as, my insides, working on complimenting myself. What did I think of myself? I was starting to change my thoughts. If I thought of something negative about me, I was changing it. And I started working with my clients on the same thing. So those women, mainly women that I worked with, I was helping them get in shape on the outside, but I was also helping with the inside. And I was going through that journey with them in my early 20s. And, those of us that work out, know that it doesn't matter how great you look on the outside. If you do not feel good on the inside, it really doesn't matter, right? If you're not healthy, really doesn't matter, both inside and outside. So I started working on that with my clients, with myself, and I started noticing huge changes in them as well. And my life did like a 180 turn where all these opportunities were opening up for me. Even in the midst of that is when I met my now husband, and now it's been 21 years, which I can't even believe that much time has gone by. So there's so many amazing things and opportunities that came into my life and my clients' life. And, I have 2 older children. They're in their 20s. I've got 2 younger children, 2 that are still at home. They're 13 and 15. And, working with teenagers and being the mom of teenagers and how their self-perception is usually not all that great, right? Because when you're in middle school, my middle school years, I'm not sure how yours were, but mine were not that great. Most people's aren't. And that's when you really have to start working more and more on your self-perception and what you think and feel about yourself, because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks and feels. So that's how I became to write these books. And it is done within 30 days. So it's called the 30-Day Self-Perception Makeover because there's something that you do every day. And when you are done with those 30 days, you see shifts even throughout the time of the 30 days happening right before your eyes in your life, because everything you do is based on your self-perception. So, what you think, the choices you make, the chances you take, the relationships, whether it be business or personal, that you stay in or that you get rid of and you leave because you're worth more, all of that is based on your self-perception. So that's how that came about. That's just kind of a little mini story. Of course, as you know, the older we get, I always like to say, it takes us a lot longer to tell our story. And I'm 47, and so I could be here for quite a while telling you stories of what's happened in my life, the ebbs and flows.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's so cool. I'm digging perception, the idea of perception, because really that is the matrix right there. That is the sort of we see whatever we want to see, and we believe whatever we want to believe. And it kind of leads me into my next question, which is, what do you think is the most valuable piece of information, short and sweet, that you've gotten from your area of expertise / industry?
Is that once people start to realize that what everybody else thinks and feels about them doesn't matter, that one little shift changes their entire life.
Self-love. So true. Yeah.
Yeah, and not caring what anybody else thinks or feels. And I know that doesn't, and that's not in a negative way. I just don't care, but you can't. You have to put it into perspective. Where are those people coming from?
I think I started really reflecting on this idea of not caring. It's not that you don't care what other people think of you. It's more so it's not using the negativity that you may input in your head because of someone else's, like look on their face when they encounter you. It's just more so going, okay, where can I use the happiness story to motivate myself and sort of energize myself versus going, oh gosh, like this is all my fault. Or
yeah, and also so when we talk about a healthy self-perception, if you truly trust your intuition 100%, this is what going through the 30 days will do for you. When you trust your intuition 100% and you look in the mirror and you know things about you that are amazing, that's where when other people say things to you that don't align with you, you don't even give it a second thought. You don't even waste your time to disagree with them. You just let it go. You just let it go because it doesn't matter. And so that is where you really start to see the huge shifts when you just feel so confident, and it's not an arrogant confident. It's just, you know what? I'm good with I'm good with what I'm doing. I'm good with how I look. I'm good with how I feel. And if I need to do some work on the way I'm feeling, I'm in the process of doing that. I am making my life better for me, because when you make your life better for yourself, it radiates out to every single person around you. And the thing I love about it, and we talk about this in the book, is that when you do start to shift to a healthy self-perception, you will see people start to inch away. Sometimes people will start to inch away and they don't even know why they are. It's just you're letting out a better energy and they're uncomfortable with it. They're not really sure why they're uncomfortable, but they just are. And that's okay. They're not aligned with where you are right now in your life. And so those are the people that, the ebbs and flows of people that come in and out, and you just let that go. And then you'll have other people that will come into your life that will bring those opportunities and those relationships and those circumstances that you've been desiring all along, but you've been blocking it with having those people in your life that aren't lifting you up. So that's another reason. So that we just have the teen edition that's going to be released in the next 2 weeks. I worked with numerous teens that go to the high schools and some that are homeschooled because, I'm not a teenager anymore. So I needed to find out what's going on right now with teenagers, because social media has totally changed the playing field, right? It's so much easier to feel down about yourself. People find it easier to say something that's maybe not very nice because they don't have to look at that person in the eye. So there's been a lot of work that's gone into the teenage book. So it's called the 30-Day Self Perception Makeover Teen Edition. And a lot of work has gone into that so that we can start at a younger age in teens. And then the next one will be preteen. But you can see how the earlier you start with a healthy self-perception, heck, you can start working on your self-perception at any age. You can be 60, 70, 80, 90, doesn't matter. It still will benefit you in your life. And, that's what's led me also to, I have a charity, a nonprofit called Hopefull Handbags. And what we do is we collect, and you'll see how this ties together. We collect once loved handbags and we fill them with necessities, and we donate them to women that are getting back on their feet again due to domestic violence and other detrimental situations. And another leg of this is just showing awareness, having people be aware that domestic violence is real and that there's help and support out there for free all over the world. Wherever you are, you can find help and support. But I don't think a lot of people know about it. Now, how does this relate to self-perception? Well, there's so many reasons why people stay in these domestic violence relationships. But if you truly have a healthy self-perception and you know that this doesn't feel right, then you have a better chance of finding the help, getting the support, reaching out, and not staying in a situation like that. So that's my goal, is to spread all of that. Right now, we are in 7 states in the United States spreading. We are in Barbados, Canada, and the UK, getting ready to open in Australia there. And what we've done is we've also partnered with a Moms in Business Association where women can, if you have a small business or any kind of business, you can start a networking group and also incorporate Hopefull Handbags and collect so that we can continuously be giving to these domestic violence shelters. And when these women open up these bags, they get so excited. So we're giving hope. And that's the point of the handbags, to give hope. And they know somebody cares. And when you raise your energy vibration, even if it's just a little bit, you open that flow for things that you desire to come into your life, for better things, people that are going to lift you up, circumstances and things like that.
Wow. Yeah, community is key right there.
Yeah.
So Kathleen, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
I've got like 3 more questions for you. We'll round it
Okay.
out strong. And the first to last of the 3 questions is, what's your favorite social media outlet?
I have to pick one. Right now it's Facebook.
Nice. What about your favorite book and why?
Okay, so besides my book, because I do my own 30-day self-perception makeover, I think you have to revisit it every 6 months. I really like She Means Business by Carrie Green. I like that because it's not just about business. I love books that inspire you to try new things. And I love books that are real and they tell you real life things that happen to them so that then you can grow as a person.
Nice. And, I think this is I lied a little bit. I wanted to ask you 3, but now I want to ask you 2 more.
Okay.
Because I really just don't feel like we've gotten the real Kathleen yet.
Yeah.
I really don't. And I'm being totally honest with you. I want to hear like the last time you really cried.
Last time I really cried. Well, it was about a happy thing. Because my oldest son was married last year. And, I can probably cry even talking about it just because I was so happy to have all of my kids together, because as your kids grow up, they move on, and I was filled with such joy and pride of looking at my children that I just started crying. And it was a happy cry, but it was still, I tear up even just thinking about that. Of course, there were many times in my life that I've had crying, and some are good, some not good. And I think it's okay. I think it's great to have a good cry sometimes.
I think it's amazing to have a good cry. I think, actually,
right?
I don't think, yeah. I know for a fact that we cry because we care, We don't cry just because,
absolutely.
We can make ourselves cry. It's like, I think that's why as kids, as adolescents, when we're in touch with our emotions and we don't try to overthink things, we just let it be. And that's a big theme in my life where I go, I just need to let things be. But anyways, I'm sure I could go on for hours about that. Important. We both could.
Yeah, I could sit and talk to you about letting it be for quite a while.
I love it. So the last thing, though, I'd love for you to give anybody that's listening to this right now just one question, like a self-inquisitive question that they can maybe ask themselves and maybe just ponder about it, like maybe record this answer into their phone just to sort of get them to the next step. What question would you want to ask them?
I would want to ask them what they think of themselves when they look at themselves in the mirror. Honestly, what do you think of yourself?
That's a scary question.
It's a big question, right? And that question can give you so many answers as to the way your life is flowing.
Yeah. I love it. Well, Kathleen, this has been awesome talking to you. I will plug in the links that people can find you, and I guarantee that people have definitely been touched in just this short amount. And this 18 minutes flew by, and it was incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed speaking with you, and I'm looking forward to hearing more on your interviews. They're awesome. So thank you so much, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.
You too. See you, Kathleen.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wow. You made it to the very end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Scratch Your Own Itch with your host, Logan Tyler Nelson. To make it to the end, gosh, that doesn't happen very much nowadays. I mean, especially with the constant distraction. So, I appreciate all of the efforts that you just took out of your day to make it to the end. And if you hit that subscribe button and leave a review, you would have no idea what that would mean to me. So thank you so much for taking the time to hit that subscribe button. And if you leave a review, check it out. Just screenshot it, send it to me, and I'd love to host your review out on the show. But don't ever forget, like I say, you matter and you're enough.